Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Diet Coke or water? Which one should you be drinking? This debate has been raging for years, and today we're going to settle it once and for all by diving deep into the science. You've probably heard all sorts of claims about artificial sweeteners. Some people say they're a harmless way to enjoy sweetness without the calories, while others warn they're a chemical cocktail that will ruin your health. So, what's the real story? Let's find out. First up, let's talk about the big one, aspartame. It's the sweetener in Diet Coke and thousands of other products. Last year, the World Health Organization, or WHO, made headlines when one of its agencies, the IARC, classified aspartame as possibly carcinogenic to humans. That sounds terrifying, right? But hold on, there's more to the story. The IARC's job is to identify potential hazards, not to assess the actual risk in real-life consumption. Think of it this way, aloe vera extract and working overnight shifts are in the same category. It doesn't mean they will give you cancer, just that there's some limited evidence that needs more investigation. At the same time, another WHO committee, called JECFA, which actually assesses risk, reviewed the same data and concluded that aspartame is safe at the current acceptable daily intake levels. So, what does that mean for you? You'd have to drink about 14 cans of Diet Coke every single day to exceed this limit. Most people aren't even close to that. So, for the average person, the cancer risk from aspartame in diet sodas is considered extremely low based on current evidence. Now, let's move on to another popular sweetener, sucralose, which you know as Splenda. Sucralose is interesting because it's made from real sugar, but it's chemically altered so your body doesn't absorb the calories. It's about 600 times sweeter than sugar, so you only need a tiny amount. For a long time, sucralose was seen as a super safe alternative. However, some recent studies have raised questions. One study suggested that a chemical formed when your body breaks down sucralose could potentially damage DNA. This sounds alarming, but again, we need context. This was a lab study, not a human trial, and the amounts used were very high. Regulatory bodies like the FDA have reviewed extensive data on sucralose and continue to affirm its safety for general consumption. So, while it's good to be aware of new research, the overall consensus is that sucralose is safe when consumed in moderation. Okay, so the big regulatory bodies say they're generally safe in moderation. But what about all those other claims we hear? One of the most common is that artificial sweeteners trick your body and spike your insulin. The idea is that your tongue tastes something sweet, so your body expects sugar and releases insulin. If no sugar arrives, this could lead to insulin resistance over time. It's a plausible theory, but what does the science actually say? Most rigorous, controlled studies on humans have shown that non-nutritive sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and stevia do not cause a significant insulin release on their own. When you consume them in a glass of water, for example, your insulin and blood sugar levels pretty much stay flat. Now, it gets a little more complicated when they're combined with other things, like carbohydrates. Some research suggests that the combination might have a slightly different effect than carbs alone, but the evidence is mixed and not very strong. For most people, especially those managing diabetes or trying to control blood sugar, swapping a sugary drink for a diet one is a clear win in this department. A can of regular Coke has about 39 grams of sugar, which will absolutely send your blood sugar soaring. A Diet Coke has 0. The choice is pretty clear from a blood sugar perspective. So, if they don't spike insulin, what about our gut? This is a really hot area of research right now. Our gut is home to trillions of bacteria, the gut microbiome, which plays a huge role in everything from digestion to our immune system, and even our mood. The worry is that since our bodies can't digest artificial sweeteners, they travel down to our colon where they interact with these bacteria. Could they be harming the good guys and helping the bad guys? Some studies, mostly in animals and test tubes, have suggested that sweeteners like saccharin, sucralose, and aspartame can alter the composition of the gut microbiome. For example, a famous Israeli study in 2014 found that these sweeteners could induce glucose intolerance in mice by changing their gut bacteria. When they transferred these bacteria to other mice, those mice also developed glucose intolerance. This was a landmark study, but it's important to remember it was in mice. Human studies have been far less conclusive. Some show minor changes in gut bacteria, while others show no effect at all. People's gut microbiomes are incredibly diverse and are influenced by your entire diet, genetics, and lifestyle, not just one ingredient. So while there might be some effect, we don't have strong evidence to say it's clinically significant or harmful for most people. The science is still evolving here. This brings us to the big question: should you drink Diet Coke or stick to water? Let's be perfectly clear. Water is the undisputed champion of hydration. It has 0 calories, 0 additives, and is essential for every single function in your body. There is no health debate here. Water is always the best choice. If you're choosing between water and any other beverage, water wins. Period. But life isn't always about making the absolute perfect choice. We live in the real world. So let's reframe the question. Is Diet Coke a better choice than regular Coke? Here, the answer is a resounding yes, especially if you're concerned about weight management, blood sugar, or dental health. The 140 empty calories and nearly 10 teaspoons of sugar in a regular soda contribute directly to weight gain and increase your risk for type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Diet soda, for all the debate surrounding it, sidesteps these issues completely. For someone who drinks multiple sugary sodas a day, switching to diet soda can be a powerful harm reduction tool. It can be a stepping stone toward a healthier lifestyle. Think of it as a bridge. Maybe you're not ready to give up that sweet, fizzy satisfaction just yet. Switching from a full sugar soda to a diet one is a positive step. It cuts out a significant source of sugar and calories from your diet instantly. The goal might be to eventually transition from diet soda to sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon, and then to plain water. But progress, not perfection, is the key. Beating yourself up for having a Diet Coke instead of water isn't productive. Recognizing it as a better alternative to a sugary drink is a more balanced and sustainable approach to health. So what's the final verdict? Artificial sweeteners are not a health food. But they're also not the poison that some people make them out to be. Based on the current weight of scientific evidence, they are considered safe in moderation for the general population. They don't provide any nutrition, but they can be a useful tool for reducing sugar and calorie intake. Water is, and always will be, the optimal choice for hydration. But if a diet soda helps you avoid a sugary one, that's a net positive for your health. The key, as with so many things in nutrition, is context and moderation. What does the rest of your diet look like? Are you active? Are you using diet drinks as a crutch to justify poor eating habits, or as a tool to help you make better choices? Listen to your own body. Stay informed by looking at the broad scientific consensus rather than scary headlines, and make choices that work for you and your health goals. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more evidence-based nutrition content. See you in the next video.